What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Steven Motivate. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. We going live from the office today. Let's make sure this is live. Boom. We live. We live on all platforms. We good. You can do your thing, bro. You good. You can. Yeah, you good. What up? What up, everybody? It's Thursday. We done made it to another Thursday. We try to do these every Thursday. Sometimes it escapes us, but every Thursday we here to really unpack a lot of things. But the number one thing we like to talk about is money because everyone thinks they need more and everyone wants to know why they don't have more. And I got a major unlock for you. The number one reason you're not rich. The number one reason you're not rich yet. Number one reason you're not rich yet. And I know it sounds like, man, what could be the reason? Just tell me really quick. But that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is we want stuff really quick. We want to know right away. Tell me why. Tell me why I'm not rich. Because we think it's simple, but it's really a massive unlock. It's a breakthrough. It's almost like what Christians would call a revelation as to why you're not rich yet. And you have to think about nothing that's of material, nothing that is significant happens quickly. Very few things happen quickly. A baby does not go from crawling to walking very quickly. They don't even start crawling very quickly, right? It takes time. It takes time for things to build. Why? Because that's in nature. It's just the natural way things go. Things take time. And so we've got to learn how to really tap into okay, things take time. We got to tap into that, the fact that things take time. But it's not just time, because if you think it's just time, oh, you'll get it after a while, then you're also thinking wrong. Because it's not just time. You have to do the right things with your time if you want to be rich. You cannot just be waiting. And that's the problem I have with a lot of people, Christians in particular. We get into this mode of, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait. And we think we're doing what's right. We think it's biblical. And it is partially, but it's not fully biblical. It's really not fully biblical. And there's many scriptures. One is, I mentioned this morning, in Thessalonians, it's like rejoice. It's like pray continually, rejoice always, and give thanks while in any circumstance, essentially. So rejoicing, praising, and thanking is super important in how you use your time. And that's important for sure. But there's more than just that. You need to do some things. You need to do some things with your time. But being so impatient, thinking, oh, how do I get rich? Tell me right away. That's a problem in and of itself because it goes against the law of nature, the principle thing. You are not going to get to prosperity violating principles. You won't get to real, true prosperity violating principles. So to think, oh, I'm supposed to learn this really quick and I'm going to just turn around and be rich tomorrow, you're already setting yourself up for failure. So if you just be patient, if you watch this video, you might actually learn something that you don't know. You might actually get the breakthrough, the unlock that you need to start operating at another level as it relates to your finances, as it relates to your money. So that's super important. That's super important that you understand that. But it's just really simple. Why are most people not rich? It's simple. It's because of how they use money and what they think about when they use money. And I challenge you to think, what's the first thing that you think about when you use money? I challenge you. I challenge you to think about that. When you get money, what's the first thing you think about? What is the first thing you think about when you get money? That's very important for you to understand. What do you think about when you get money? And before we get into it, just tapping back into this idea that you've got to stick around. You've got to wait. You got to be patient enough to get the unlock. You've got to be patient enough to say, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't understand everything I need to understand about money and about finances. Let me make sure y'all got me 100%. Because I want y'all to get this, and it's very important that you get this. It's very important that you get this. We're in a new spot today, sitting at the desk, really thinking through, why are people not rich? Why are you not rich? Why are you not rich? What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're not doing? More importantly, how are you thinking and how are you not thinking? You see, a lot of our thinking is based upon how we were raised, what we were taught, who was in front of us, who we saw, all of that is how most people, their thinking is tied to that. And so someone said something earlier this week that if you really want to become someone different, if you want to live life in a different way, you've got to develop different type of goals, right? You got to execute differently. You got to think differently. Because if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. And that's half of the battle. I'm about to give you a key reason why most people, why a lot of your friends are not rich yet. I'm about to give you the key. But you got to even prepare and prep yourself to even receive it. Are you even ready to receive? Right? If you're not ready to receive, then many times you'll mess up. The reception will be bad, right? Think about sports, constantly going to that. If someone passes you the ball, the thing you want on the court, in a game, in almost any game, if you're a true professional, you want the ball. But if someone gets ready to pass it to you and you're not ready to receive it, you will fumble the ball. You will fumble the bag. You will fumble the opportunity simply because you were not ready to receive it. So if you want to get to different type of goals, you got to live in a different type of way. You got to think differently. You got to act differently. And you got to be willing to destroy the old you so the new you can come forth. That old thinking, I've always done it that way. That's probably why you're stuck. Well, I always do this. That's probably why you're having issues. That's probably why you keep finding yourself in cycles. Issues, cycles, can't get out. Don't have much to show for what you've done, for what you're doing. Living paycheck to paycheck, all those type of things should be an indication that you might want to do something different. You might want to think differently. You might want to act differently. So let's get into it. I hope that gave you enough prep to prepare your mind that, okay, I might be getting a key. For those who dropped off and for those who aren't listening anymore, this isn't for them. But for the few of you that are willing to continue to listen, that are willing to believe, right, that this guy might have a key that could change my life. This guy might have an unlock for me that could help me get to the levels I want to reach. If you made it this far, then you deserve to learn. You deserve to understand more about what can help you get to your bag, can help you get to that next level. You deserve it because you're waiting patiently, and patience is so important. The Bible says, let patience have her perfect work, so that ye may be perfect and entire, lacking nothing. One could say, if you want to get rid of lack in your life, first you got to work on your patience. You're too impatient. Too impatient. All right, let's get into it. Number one reason most folks are not rich. I said it to you before. It's simple. It's not about the money they don't have. It's about how they use the money they do have. It's not about the money they don't have. It's about how they use the last piece of money they had. And so there's three different ways people typically use money. You got the way the poor use money, you got the way the middle class use money, and you got the way the rich use money. And I love how this is broken down. Myron Golden breaks it down fantastically. But this is very important, and I want to share it with you just in case you never see Myron's video and you get to see mine. There's three ways that most people handle their money. The poor people handle their money different from the middle class, and the middle class handle their money different from the rich. And there's other levels, but let's just deal with those three today. So what do poor people do when they get money? Number one thing they do is they buy. They want to buy something. They're ready to spend it on something. I need something. They get a pleasure. And most people get a pleasure. But they emphasize the pleasure so much that they disregard what the middle class do and what the rich do. Poor people look to buy something. They look to spend it as soon as they get it. Even before they get it, they look to spend it. Oh, I gotta spend that. Oh, I've been wanting to do that. Oh, this is my opportunity. I've been wanting that shirt. I've been wanting that hat. I've been wanting to go to that game. I've been wanting to do this thing. That's how poor people do. Poor people, first thing they do is they seek to spend it. Middle class people seek to pay something off or pay something down. I got some money. I gotta take care of that debt. I got some things I gotta pay for. I gotta. Middle class people, they are so nervous. They're so scared of debt. They're so scared of a bill. I gotta pay that bill. I'm so worried about that bill. They're almost huffing and puffing in their minds, right? Because they're nervous, because they probably grew up middle class, and their parents probably didn't have much. And so one of the key things they learned is, hey, you got to pay your bills. You got to pay your bills. So that's the first thing they think about doing is paying their bills. And I love this part because middle class people, they know something that they believe and hold so deeply that it really prevents them from going to the next level. They get that money by typically working a job. And so they tie the ability to get money to the ability to have a job and a good job. Do you got a good job? That becomes the number one focus. And the income, the paycheck, or if I could just make, everyone wants a raise. If I could just get a raise. If I could just get a raise. If I could just get a raise on my job, I could do this thing. I could pay this bill. If I could just get a raise. And then once they pay their bills, once they get their raise, then they go back to doing what the poor people do. Then they just spend it on something that they had their eye on. something they really wanted, something they really liked. And it's a problem. It's a problem because it's preventing them from getting to the next level. The next level is the rich. The rich primarily use their money. And you can say rich, you can say wealthy. Wealthy is probably better. But the truly wealthy people use their money. Here's the unlock. Here it is. They primarily, first, they use it to get more money. Huh? That's it. Rich people use money to get more money. And when they do this, they are operating at a super high principle. They're operating at a godly principle. The Bible says, if you're faithful over a few things, I will make you ruler over much, or you will become ruler over much. It's in that context, but what it's really saying is if you're faithful with a few things, so you've got to learn how to be faithful with money. What does that even mean? You got to be diligent with it. You've got to do and put it to the use that money is meant to be put to use to do. And what is that? Money should be used like a seed planted. You got to wait when you plant something. And then you got to wait until it becomes more money. Oh, glory to God. You got to wait till it becomes more money. That's the unlock. It's not, can I spend it? It's not, can I pay a bill? It's, have I used it to make more money? Primarily, when I get money, that's my thought. That's my predominant thought. How can I use it to make more money? And this is so in line with God because everything else in the world that we see that's significant operates very similarly. Everything operates on this principle of being planted. If you understand a garden, you know that you do not plant the seed to your strawberries and get them the same day. No, you have to plant it. You have to water it. It has to have sunlight. It's got to have light. Light represents understanding. And then you get growth. And you get change. It's not the same as when it went in the ground. It changes. It changes. And you, as an individual, as a person, you got to figure out how to get planted. And how to get enough water. And how to get enough light until you get some understanding, until you start to change and grow. And when you do that, you start to get to a position where, oh, it's not that I need more money. It's that I've never used the money I've had the correct way. I've always used it to buy stuff if I'm poor. Or I've always used it to pay stuff down if I'm middle class. I've never used it primarily like a seed, planted it and waited to get more money. Let's say you have $1,000 right now. Right now, I cash up you $1,000. What are you going to do? Most people, if they get $1,000 right now without even knowing it, unintentionally, subconsciously, They're thinking about, how can I spend it? Your mind automatically goes there because we've been bred to be, we've been poor. We grew up poor. We grew up around people who didn't really know how to use money properly. And because of that, your mind goes that way. I've been wanting those new shoes. $1,000 shoes. I've been wanting those J's. I've been wanting those Gucci shoes. Man, I've been wanting them. So I got to get it. Got $1,000. I can afford it. And so you spend and you get that thing that automatically leaves you with less. You get that thing that automatically leaves you with less. That's the poor mindset. Middle class mindset. Let me pay off this credit card. I got $1,000. Let me pay it off. Just so you can run it up again. Always paying for past decisions, never building future wealth. This is the unlock. The rich person says, okay, I got 1,000. How can I turn it into 2,000? How can I turn it into 3,000? And they know they have to go without it. They know they have to delay the gratification. But they also know that their future self, future Stephen, 50-year-old Stephen, 60-year-old Stephen, 70-year-old Stephen, is going to be happy, is going to be well pleased because he was, I was faithful over the few things. I understood the purpose of money. And that takes change. Your belief system has to change. You've got to understand, I'm not going to violate principles and get to prosperity. There's a principle of seed time and harvest time. You have to plant the seed in the ground. And I don't mean being philanthropic or giving or paying your tithes or doing. That's what we grew up hearing. Seed time, harvest time. And we thought it was magic. Seed time, harvest time. Run up to the altar and give $5 and God's going to bless you. God will bless you. Absolutely. But what will also bless you is if you take that money and put it in a place that you may not fully understand, that you may not fully know, but you've been told that it will grow if it goes there. Do you really understand how seeds work and how they grow and they get sunlight and rain and they get buried in the ground and they pop? Most of us don't know it because we just want the results. We don't want the seed part. We don't want to see all that. We don't want to see all that. We don't want to see it. But we would benefit from understanding it. The way you use money is like a seed. You got to be patient. You got to be patient. You got to be thinking long term. Long term. Long term. Think long term, not short term. Don't think this far ahead. Don't think about today, tomorrow. Think about 10 years from now. If you plant that money in the stock market, if you plant that money in a business, if you plant that money in real estate, I hope you're getting this. I hope you're getting it. The number one reason you're not rich is not because you don't have money. It's because you don't use the money you have the right way. You got to use money like a seed, primarily. And that's the thinking. If you get your thinking there, you'll be well on your way. Because it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt to plant because you're not used to planting. It's going to hurt to wait and not see your profits right away because you're used to immediate gratification. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. You want the answer now, but it violates a law. It violates a principle. You've got to wait. You're not going to be good on day one. It's day 1001 where you start to see progress. It's day 10,000 where you start to say, okay, now I might know what I'm doing a little bit now. Time. And we don't want time. We don't want to wait because we're not used to thinking this way. We're not used to using money like a seed. You've got to get this. If you want to get rich, if you want to be wealthy, truly wealthy. Everyone that has a lot of money is still not wealthy. They're still not rich because they're not thinking the right way. They're blowing it. You're really, truly wealthy when you don't have to work for the money anymore. The money's working for you because you planted it like a seed. You waited. You stuck it out. You let it grow. And now it's making more money for you. If you want to change your life, ask yourself this every time you touch a dollar. Ask yourself this every time you touch your dollar. Will this make me richer? Will this just make me feel better temporarily? Every time you touch a dollar, will it make me richer? Or will it make me feel better? Too many of us are using our emotions when it comes to money. You've got to get the mindset of multiplication. You got to step out of fear, and it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to get nervous. That's normal because you're doing something that most people around you aren't doing. Most people before you haven't done. You're pioneering. If you're going to go to different levels, you have to live a different type of life. And it requires you to plant. Wait. It's not just the planting, it's the waiting. Because the growth doesn't happen right away. But if you do that, if you start to get this thinking, just watch yourself. Just watch how ready you are to spend money every time you get it. Just watch and check yourself. Ask yourself every time you get a dollar, will this make me better, richer, or will it just make me feel better in the short term? Look, the rich buy assets. The middle class pays bills. And the poor, They just spend money. Where do you want to be? You get to choose. Every time a dollar hits your hand, you get to choose. I hope this helps you as much as this helped me. I know what I'm on my way to because I know where my thinking is at. I know where my thinking is at. This is the number one reason people aren't rich. It's not because of the money they do or don't have. It's because the thinking they do or don't operate in. Until next time, y'all. Let me know if that blessed you. In the meantime, stay motivated. It's your boy Stephen Motivate. Peace.